were waiting for the last prophet. The Jews and the Christians and the Arabs, some of them. Umayyah, son of Abu Salt, said, I used to find in the books the description of a prophet that would be dispatched from our lands. And I used to think that I was the one. But then it became clear for me that that one should be from the clan of Abdu Manaf. So then I started looking, and I didn't find anyone who has the manners of such a prophet except Utbah, the son of Rabi'ah. But he had already passed 40 years old. Abu Sufyan said, when Muhammad was sent, I had mentioned that to Umayyah. So Umayyah said, he is true, follow him. But then Abu Sufyan said to him, and what about you? He said, I feel embarrassed from the women of Thaqif. I told them that I am the prophet. And then I would start following a young man from the clan of Abdu Manaf. Salama, the son of Salama, he was from the people of Al-Madinah. He said, we had a Jewish neighbor in Al-Madinah. Now remember, the city of Medina used to be called Yathrib. And the religion of the Arabs before Muhammad came, alayhi salatu wassalam, was idolatry. However, the city of Yathrib, they had some residents or inhabitants there, or citizens. Who were they? They were Yahud, Jews. So there were Jews living in the Arabian Peninsula in and around the city of, at that time, Yathrib, which became Al-Madinah. So this man, Salama, son of Salama, he said, we had a Jewish neighbor in Medina, and he came out to us before Muhammad was sent by some time. And he told us about the hereafter, paradise and hell, and the people being gathered in the afterlife. And then we said to him, what's the sign of that? So he said, the emergence of a prophet who shall be sent from these lands. And then he pointed towards the direction of Mecca. So the people said, when will that happen? So he looked up into the sky thinking. I was the youngest of the people there. So then that Jew said, talking about me, if this lad lives his life, he shall reach the time of that prophet. So the days and the nights had passed, and then Allah sent his prophet while that Jew was still alive, and we believed in him. And that Jew, he sat rebellious against belief and hating Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In fact, it was said that the Arabs, they started calling their children Muhammad, naming their children Muhammad as a name that they took from the Jews. So that by the time Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was named Muhammad, there had only been very few people named Muhammad. They heard about a prophet to come, so they named their child Muhammad, hoping that he would be the one. And among those stories is the story of Salman, the Persian. He said, I was a Persian from the people of Asbahan, and I was the most beloved thing that Allah created to my father. He loved me so much that he detained me in the house like someone would detain the girl. And I put a lot of effort in the Majus religion. I was so active in the Majus religion that I became among those who kept the fire lit, one of the servants of the fire. Wal-'iyadhu billah. My father, he was a landlord, and he was busy with some of his properties one day. So he said to me, today, son, I am busy with some of my property. So go and do something for me. So I went out to go and do what he wanted me to do. And I passed by a church, and I heard their sound while they were praying. And I didn't even know what is this, because my father kept me detained all the time. So when I passed by them and I heard their sound, I went inside to look, what are they doing? So I looked in there and I liked the way they were praying. And I liked what they were doing. And I said, by God, this is better than what we do. He said, Wallahi, I didn't leave them until the sun went down. And I didn't even do what my father wanted me to do. So I said to them, where did this religion come from? They said, this religion came from the Levant. He said, then I went back to my father. He had sent people to look for me. Because of what I did, that got him out of his business. He was already busy with his properties, and now he had to stop doing what he was doing to find me. So when I came to him, he said, son, where were you? Didn't I tell you to do such and such? So I said, oh, father, I passed by some people praying in a church that they have, and I like what I saw of their religion. By God, I didn't stop being with them until the sun went down. He said, son, there is no goodness in that religion. Your religion and the religion of your fathers is better than their religion. So I said, no, I swear to God, their religion is better than our religion. He said, my father made me afraid, I dare you. And he shackled my foot and he locked me in his house. So I had sent word to the Christians and I said to them, now, it says Nasara here in this story. We'll see. All right, we're going to use the word Christian for now. We'll see what happens. He said, so I sent to the Christians. I sent word to the Christians and I said to them, if a ride, like a caravan from Asham comes among the Christians, then let me know. So then when a caravan came from Asham, Christian traders, he said, they told me. I said to them, when they finish what they want to do and they want to leave to their lands, let me know. So then when they wanted to go back to their land, I took the iron off of my foot and then I ran away with them. So when I got there, I said, who is the best person of this religion? They said, the priest in the church. So I went to him and I said, I like this religion and I want to be with you. I will serve you in the church and I will learn from you and I will pray with you. He said, come. But he was a bad man. He would command the people to give charity. So then when they would give him something, an accumulation, once he got some accumulated wealth, he would store it for himself and he wouldn't give it to the poor people. Until he had gathered 7 big containers of gold. He said, I hated that man very much because of what I saw him doing. But then he died. Then the Christians gathered around to bury him. So I said to them, this man was a very bad man. He used to command you to give charity, and then when you would come to him, he would store it away for himself and he wouldn't give it to the poor. They said, what do you know about it? So I said, I will show you his treasure. They said, show us. He said, so I showed them where it was. So then when they pulled out all of that gold and silver, they said, by God, we will never bury this man. And instead, they hung him on a pole and they threw stones at his dead body. And then they came with another man to take his place. And I didn't see someone that I thought was better than him, or more detached from the world than him, or someone who was more interested in the afterlife than him, or someone who was more mannerly in the night and in the day. I loved him more than I loved anyone else before, so I stayed with him for a time, and then death came to him. So I said to him, oh, so-and-so, I have been with you, and I have loved you more than anyone before, and now death has come to you. So to whom do you advise me, and with what do you command me? He said, son, by God, I do not know anyone today upon what I am upon. The people have passed away, and they have changed most of what they were doing. I only know one man in Mosul, so and so. He practices religion like I do. Go catch him. So when he died, I went to the man of Mosul. Oh, so and so. Indeed, so and so advised me upon his death to come to you. And he informed me that you practice religion like he does. So he said to me, stay with me. So I stayed with him, and I found him the best man practicing the way the other man did. But it wasn't long before he died. So then when death came to him, I said to him, oh, so-and-so, indeed, so-and-so advised me with coming to you. And now the matter from God that you see has come to you. So to whom do you advise me, and with what do you command me? He said, son, by God, I do not know a man who practices what we were practicing, except for a man in such and such place. And he is so and so, so go catch him. So when he died, I went to that one. So I came to him and I told him about what happened. So he said, stay with me. And I found him practicing the religion like the other two. And so I stayed with a good man. And wallahi, it wasn't long before he died. So then when death came to him, I said to him, oh, so-and-so, indeed, so-and-so had commanded me to go to so-and-so. And then he commanded me to come to you. And so to whom do you advise me, and with what do you command me? Son, by God, I do not know anyone who has remained upon our matter for me to command you with going to him, except for a man in such and such place. For indeed, he is upon what we are upon. So if you want, go to him. Salman said, so when he died, I went to that one, and I informed him about my news. So he said, stay with me. So I stayed with a man who was practicing religion like those others were. And I made money while I was there, until I had cows and ghanam. Ghanam is sheep and goats. He said, until Allah willed for death to come to him. So I said to him, oh, so-and-so, surely I was with Fulan, and so he commanded me to go to Fulan, and he commanded me to go to Fulan, and he commanded me to go to you. So to whom do you advise me, and with what do you command me? Son, by God, I do not know anyone who remains upon our matter so that I could send you to him. However, the time of the prophet sent with the religion of Abraham is upon us, and he shall come out of the land of the Arabs as an immigrant. He will go to a land that has palm trees, and he has signs that are very obvious. He accepts the gift, and he does not accept the charity. And between his shoulders on his back is a birthmark. It is the seal of prophethood. So if you are able to catch up to him in those lands, then do so. Then that man died. And I stayed there in that area for as long as Allah willed for me. And then people had passed by me. They were traders. So I said to them, give me a ride to the land of the Arabs, and I will give you my cows, and I will give you my ghanam. They said, okay. So I paid them, and they carried me until we reached a place, and they wronged me, and they sold me as a slave to a Jew. And I saw palm trees, so I hoped that this was the land. So once when I was with this Jew, his nephew came to him from the city of Medina. His nephew was from Banu Qurayza, Those were some of the Jews who lived around there. The Muslims had a confrontation with them. He bought me and he took me to Medina. By God, when I was there, I knew it, and there I stayed. And then Allah sent his messenger, and he was in Mecca as long as he was there, and I never heard of him because of being a slave. And then he migrated to Medina, and wallahi, I was up in a tree working, and my master, he was sitting when a nephew of his came. He said to him, what means the Arabs are ready to fight us. They have mobilized with a man with them who came from Mecca who claims that he is a prophet. When I heard that, I almost fell out of the tree. He said, I came down from the palm tree and I went to his nephew. What are you talking about? So my master got angry. What's your business? Get back to work. Nothing. I was just curious about what he said. I had something that I had gathered, so I took it. And then I went with it to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I entered in on him and I said to him, it has reached me that you are a good man and that you have companions who are poor. This is something I have for charity, and I saw that you are the best to give it to. So I gave it to him, and so the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to his companions, eat. So he let them eat, and he did not take any of it. So when I saw that, I said, that's one. ثُمَّ انصَرَفْتُ عَنْهُ. Then I left, and I got some more stuff. I went to him, and I said to him, I saw that you did not eat the charity. Here is a gift. And so the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he ate from it, and he also commanded his companions to eat from it with him. That's two. He said, so then I went to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he had followed a funeral, a janazah, for one of his companions, and he had some shawl on over his shoulder, something like this. And he was sitting amongst his companions. And so I greeted them. And then I maneuvered so that I can get around him so that I could see his back. Would I see the seal that was described to me? So when he noticed me and what I was doing, he knew what it was that I wanted. And so he let down what he had covering his shoulders. And so I saw the seal and I knew him. So then I told the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam my story, and the Messenger of Allah, he liked my story, and he wanted his companions to hear it.